After officially becoming one of the newest members of the Avengers, Daredevil swings across the skyline of New York City on his way to Avengers Mansion. Even as he makes his way through the city, he can't help questioning the situation. In his mind, he jokes that he's now a card-carrying member of the Avengers, which makes him wonder whether he's the one who lost his mind, or whether the Avengers have. To him, the team already has more than enough controversy surrounding it without adding another complicated hero like himself to the roster. As Daredevil approaches Avengers Mansion, he immediately realizes something is wrong. A large crowd of protesters has gathered outside the building, shouting at the heroes they believe have failed them. The signs in the crowd read things like, "Who elected you? What have you done for me lately? Mutants go home," and "avenging your own interests." Standing above, Daredevil listens carefully, thinking, an angry mob. People protesting the Avengers because they don't think the world is safe enough. Thanks to his heightened senses, he doesn't just hear the angry voices. He can pick up racing heartbeats, pounding pulses, and the nervous energy flowing through the entire crowd. To him, it's an overwhelming wall of emotion. Watching the protest unfold, Daredevil can't help but think how strange it all is. He wonders why people choose to protest the very heroes risking their lives to keep the world safe. In his mind, it would make far more sense to protest the people who aren't doing anything instead of the ones constantly putting themselves in danger for everyone else. Finally, Daredevil drops down in front of Avengers Mansion and calls out, "Hello?" Almost immediately, an excited voice answers from inside the mansion. "Oh my god, Daredevil." The person greeting him turns out to be none other than Squirrel Girl, who seems genuinely surprised and happy to see him. Daredevil walks inside Avengers Mansion and is immediately greeted by Squirrel Girl, who is standing in the hall while babysitting Luke Cage and Jessica Jones's baby. She nearly jumps with excitement when she sees him, blurting out, "Oh my god. Oh man, hi." Daredevil recognizes her from their previous encounter and replies, "Squirrel Girl, right?" She happily confirms it, still visibly nervous around him. Unfortunately for Daredevil, his enhanced senses make the situation far less pleasant than it looks. The moment he steps inside, he can smell everything at once. The unmistakable scent of a baby mixed with Squirrel Girl's natural squirrel musk. The overwhelming combination makes him silently think he's going to throw up, though he politely keeps those thoughts to himself. Wanting to know what's going on, Daredevil asks where the rest of the Avengers are. Squirrel Girl explains they're all away on a mission, but when he asks what kind of mission it is, she awkwardly admits she doesn't think she's supposed to reveal that information. That answer only confuses Daredevil even more. He is surprised that nobody even contacted him, since he's now officially an Avenger. He assumed someone would call him whenever the team was heading out. Meanwhile, he was also wondering how Squirrel Girl can stand the smell in the room. Looking at her, he thinks, "Lord, woman, can't you smell that?" Squirrel Girl tries to explain that everything happened at the last minute and it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. Daredevil is still puzzled, asking if that's really how being an Avenger works. He had assumed members received some kind of call whenever the team assembled. But instead, it seems like if you're present, and if you're not, the mission simply goes on without you. Squirrel Girl admits she honestly doesn't know, explaining she's only babysitting and isn't involved in how the team organizes missions. Trying another approach, Daredevil asks if there's any way he can contact the Avengers himself. Squirrel Girl apologetically tells him he'd have to ask Luke Cage, since she's just the nanny. Hearing that, Daredevil finally realizes she's looking after Luke Cage and Jessica Jones's baby. Daredevil stares at the child for a moment. In his head, he practically screams for someone to get the baby away from him, while Squirrel Girl proudly smiles and asks if the baby is cute, clearly expecting him to agree. The conversation then shifts to something more personal. Smiling, Squirrel Girl thanks Daredevil for saving them during their previous battle against the Red Skull and the Nazis, admitting she never got the chance to properly thank him afterward. As she speaks, Daredevil's radar senses and enhanced hearing pick up something she doesn't realize. Her heartbeat suddenly starts pounding much faster, making it obvious she's becoming increasingly nervous and flustered while talking to him. At the same time, completely unnoticed by Squirrel Girl, the baby spits up a little on her chest, but she's so focused on Daredevil that she doesn't even realize it. Squirrel Girl looks directly at Daredevil with complete sincerity and thanks him once again, telling him, "You saved my life, for real." Daredevil humbly brushes the compliment aside, replying that she would have done the same for him if their positions had been reversed. However, instead of answering the question he had asked earlier about the Avengers, Squirrel Girl continues staring at him with an obvious admiration that doesn't escape Daredevil's notice. Daredevil tries to get the conversation back on track by asking if she has any idea when the Avengers will return. But Squirrel Girl completely ignores the question. Instead, after a brief pause, she unexpectedly asks, "Do you have a girlfriend?" The sudden question immediately catches Daredevil off guard. In his head, he simply thinks, "Uh-oh." Trying to steer the conversation away from the topic, Daredevil asks another question instead. "How old are you?" Without missing a beat, Squirrel Girl smiles and answers that she's old enough. Old enough to appreciate him for saving her life, making it clear she has developed a genuine crush on him. Recognizing the increasingly uncomfortable situation, Daredevil quickly looks for a distraction. Thanks to his heightened senses, he notices something else before anyone says a word. The baby needs changing. Pointing toward the child, he says, "That baby really needs changing." Squirrel Girl immediately looks down at the baby, realizes he's right, and simply responds, "Oh." Without wasting another second, she hurries away to take care of the baby, leaving Daredevil standing alone in the room. As he watches her disappear down the hallway with the baby in her arms, Daredevil quietly shakes his head to himself. The only thought that crosses his mind is a single name: Squirrel Girl. Daredevil had come to Avengers Mansion expecting to meet the Avengers. Instead, he found himself alone with their babysitter, a baby, an unexpected awkward conversation, and a surprise confession that he definitely hadn't seen coming. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.